Oh yeah, boys, Logie Bay gamers, here we are, Planeswalkers. You've seen them before, you'll see them again. They started in Lorwyn. This guy is Garrick, him and Liliana, but then they started branching out. You know, here we got Liliana from Innistrad, the first Innistrad a long time ago. There we got Nicol Bolas. He's a tough guy. So there used to be rares at the beginning, but then they made mythics. All the Planeswalkers were mythics. But then they made War of the Spark, and they made some uncommon Planeswalkers. And they only have a minus ability and no plus abilities. And they have this like static abilities, like an enchantment or something. So we're wondering today on the program, what would a common Planeswalker be, maybe? Or does that make any sense? Probably not. But we thought about it for a while. We came up with a few of them anyway. And I'm going to start it off with Faced Wallace. And you'll have to excuse me, I'm going to make sure this one focuses this time instead of before. So we might stand up once in a while to take a look. So this is going to be a common Planeswalker. This one's black. So he's one in a skull. Drew a nice picture of the skull earlier today, but not here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Faced Wallace. Planeswalkers, they usually got like a bigger picture, I guess. It's like someone's standing there. Planeswalker. I spell it right. Planeswalker, I guess. Wallace. Or maybe just Faced Wallace. I don't know, but he'll be Planeswalker Wallace. He's gonna start off at just 2. I guess I'll draw. This will be the official Planeswalker frame of the show. And anyway, figured like common Planeswalker. If an uncommon Planeswalker has only minus abilities, common Planeswalkers shouldn't be able to interact with their own loyalty at all, I guess. I think Planeswalkers is a little too complicated for common, but whatever. When Faced Wallace enters the battlefield, you're going to draw a card and lose a life. Yes. Generic black effect. And then, so that's just an enter the battlefield, so that at least you get something out of them. So I mean, no abilities to activate, so they gotta do something when they're out. And Faced Wallace is whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield. A target opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, let's put the BF. Target opponent loses 1 life. So what is common Planeswalker? It's basically like an enchantment you can attack. That's what it's gonna be. But maybe there'll be something on the go later that gives them some more stuff to do. Faced Wallace is this man. This is him really close up. He's got lips. Actual lips with the outside and the inside. He's like this. He's hairy. And you just look at his face like this basically. Is that your nose? I don't know. Something like that. He's like here and there. And you don't really know what he looks like. This is just his face up close, I guess. Faced Wallace. And he doesn't have any hair. He's just like kind of old dude. And it's like, I guess he could have like a hood. don't know how to make a hood. But he's supposed to have a hood like he's a necromancer or something. Look out. I guess I had to differentiate it from his beard somehow. There we go. The hood has two directions of lines where the beard does not. I kind of ruined the nice picture. But there's Faced Wallace. It's a common Planeswalker. And what can you do? So when he enters the battlefield, draw a card, lose a life. And whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life. And he's 1 in a black to put out, and it starts at 2 loyalty. So, you know, awesome. Like, don't you want to use that card? So, what is this wild set with common Planeswalkers? I don't really know. But it has an elf Planeswalker, of course. Henneth. Bored elf. When you're bored of elves, this is what you look at. Make sure we focus real good there. So it's a nice looking thing. This is just gonna be like 1 green to put it out. So like the tree here. Tree. Made a nice picture of the tree today too. Who's better than that one? Henneth bored elf. Henneth bored elf is gonna look pretty bored in the picture. Planeswalker Henneth. Oh yeah. So what's Henneth do? Well, I gotta write in her loyalty. She's just a 1G elf, so she comes out at 1. And when Henneth enters, you make a 1/1 elf. When Henneth ETB, what is it? How do you word this? Create a 1/1 thing, or is it you put a 1/1? Yeah, put a 1/1 elf token into play under your control, or do you just write create a 1/1 elf token? I don't even remember right now because it's kind of the middle of the night. So we'll say put a 1/1 elf green elf creature token. When this is a battlefield, put a 1/1 green elf creature token into play under your control. Or create a 1/1 green elf. I don't know what you would say. Anyway, and then her second ability is whenever you play a forest, add green. Any forest, doesn't matter. Add a tree. Now I was thinking like earlier today, that kind of looks like the skull, but this is a tree. Earlier today I was thinking like maybe add green for like each loyalty on Henneth, but I thought that got a little too confusing for Planeswalkers that are common, and they can't even interact with their own like loyalty anyway. How do you make an elf and make this elf chilling? They have ears, right? This is her ears, right? And how do you make an elf not look like a goblin? Because they always have like braids and stuff. How do you have your elf not look like an orc or a dwarf or whatever? I don't know. Anyway, Henneth bored elf. I guess they have like little faces or whatever. This is a thick eyebrow elf though. There we go. And what's she do? I guess she's like standing and like bored. So you put your hand like on your hip. I don't know. What do you do when you're bored? I'm not actually sure. And I guess she's like standing on a log or something. That's what an elf would do. Like standing on a big log in the forest. Kinda bored. And in the background there's like massive trees. typical elf stuff, you know, hanging around. Maybe in the distance she's got some buddies or something. Like, I guess there have to be like more trees over here and on into the distance forever, because it's a big old elf land, elf forest. And then there's like some elf buddies like far away, because she puts the elves out, so you know there's got to be some elves. I guess they'll draw like a nice mushroom here or something, another one there. Gotta fill in those gaps, but so you gotta fill in the gaps. A couple little plants. Gotta have some undergrowth. Oh wait, there's moss on every log. Hey, bye. Get some moss on that log. Oh yeah, kind of doesn't look like a log anymore. Give me some more like tree shape, huh? I kind of lost them. Let's make the outsides of them thick. What do you think? I don't know. Henneth board elf. So she's chilling. Planeswalker Henneth. She's a green. 1 loyalty when she comes out. No plus or minus abilities. Just when Henneth enters the battlefield, you make a 1/1 green elf creature token. And whenever you play a forest, add green. Henneth board elf. So we got 2 so far. And they're pretty small loyalties. So we figure make a bigger loyalty one here for, you know, just to be all over the place. So this is Pell's solid golem. Very solid. Let's see. Hopefully it worked out that time and during that broadcast. I don't know what that meant. I'm gonna put this one's gonna be 4 and a white. This is a white golem. Pretty typical golem, you know. A lot of white golems out there. Just gonna make the sun like this. I don't know if that's sensible. That looks pretty good. Usually it looks worse than that, so we'll take it. Oh, I did the thing where I screwed that up again, but whatever. Planeswalker. Pills. So they're a big old golem. Don't want you attacking. They're basically going to protect you. Like one of Karn's buddies, basically. So Pels starts at 5, and when Pels enters, you're gonna gain 3 life. I put enter the battlefield on every one of these planeswalkers, just so you know they're easier to understand. You're like, you know, they're gonna do something when they come out, and then they'll do something when they sit around, and they'll have some loyalty. Oh, I smudged that. But you know, but I don't think they're gonna make these in a set anytime soon. A little complicated for common cards, I think. But also only made 3, and they're not the best ones ever. If a creature with power greater or equal to, like, what is it, the Pels' loyalty? What is it, the number of loyalty counters on Pels? Or is that just called Pels' loyalty? I have no idea. So I'll just write Pels' loyalty so we all understand. Creature with power greater or equal to Pels' loyalty would deal damage to you. Prevent that damage. Yes, this is surely a common with this wall of text. But Pels, the Planeswalker golem, who is white and 5 and makes you gain when it comes up. So Pels is pretty strong. I guess I'm gonna draw them like in front of something. Karn style stuff, like jacked, made of stone, typical stuff. Are you jacked if you're made of stone, or are you just like already just like absurdly strong? Alright, there's petals. I don't know how to convey the size. Petals. Maybe we'll put like a wall back here or something. This is just like a big old brick wall. Petals is huge. Absolutely jacked. There we go. And on top of this wall, this is like a regular old soldier with like a sword. His pelt is back protecting little soldiers that you have employed fighting for you, your soldier tokens. Do you have to pay the soldier tokens that you hire? It's like a Planeswalker mage or whatever. Anyway, there's Pels. Chilling, keeping everyone safe back in your base. Hangs out with walls. You know, gives you life when they come out, and keeps big creatures at bay. Small creatures, Pels doesn't really see them. So made like 3 Planeswalkers that don't actually have a way to interact with their own loyalty, which is probably lame and not something anyone would ever really want to be doing in a game. But gotta rectify that. So I'm gonna make a mythic rare artifact, of course, in the Planeswalker episode. Just to tie it all together. This is the Sparkfield Generator. And it's a usual old 5-mana artifact thing that like does whatever kind of crazy effect. But it's you have to get it out and it doesn't protect itself. Usual jank thing. Sometimes I confuse the artifacts that have subtypes, but they don't. And it's not, this is a continuous artifact, I guess, you know, back in the day. So the Sparkfield Generator, basically, it's like gives loyalty abilities to your Planeswalkers, because you're going to have some that actually don't have any. So it says Planeswalkers you control gain, and they gain like all of this. They gain these abilities +1. That there's another +1, and they get a -2. There's usually not any flavor text on Planeswalkers, so today may not have any flavor text, but maybe we can cram some on this. We'll see if we can or we can't. I don't know if they'd ever make a card look like this, but Planeswalkers you control gain +1 loyalty, is untapped target permanent. And then also another plus ability is put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. You like tap and untap is kind of blue and white, but it also is on a lot of artifacts, which is the kind of older ones. So we're gonna let it slide and gain that on like black creatures and stuff. And 1/1 counter on target creatures. They seem to give that away for free these days, so lots of that. So we're gonna do that. And then the -2 is just gonna be simple, like create a 2/2 colorless guy. I was gonna say create. Oh yeah, it does say create on this. So whatever wording I thought I said on the previous one that made a token, which is like madness, well, I was like rambling and confused. It would just say create a 1/1 elf, like not like put a 1/1 elf under the battlefield under your control. They just say create now. Amazing. They changed the words of magic cards a lot throughout the gear, so it's kind of hard to keep it all together sometimes. Create a 2/2 colorless. Construct creature token. It is not an artifact, it's just a regular, just plain colors. Because I don't know, artifacts are too You know how it is with the artifacts, they get out of hand sometimes. Take my spark. You will need it. Jace Beleren. So this is Jace giving up his spark to help the Planeswalkers in the Rift Forest. Sparkfield Generator. So we need to see a spark field being generated. We're gonna have like a tower, I guess. Big tower in the distance. Big ring thing around it. The only reason you know it's a massive tower in the distance is they're like hills or something. I don't know. What do you see? Hey, there's like some houses here. Now you can tell how big it is. It's a pretty bad house. Looks like Monopoly. So a couple Monopoly homes where like Vidalcan Monopoly wizards live. This is in the foreground, and then far away in the distance is like the Sparkfield Generator. Like far away, like there's like farm fields and everything else, and like, you know, it's very far. Just mountains. It's big. Okay, did that work? I'm not sure. There's like a road. This road is like, and it gets really tiny. It's over there. Should show you. See? You get it yet? It's a big Sparkfield Generator. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna fill in just some generic road, and then the Sparkfield. How does that gonna look? Okay, easily ruin the picture here, so think about it for a second. It'd be like, just protecting this village, I guess. Even though it doesn't make sense, like it's just granting abilities to Planeswalkers, but that's effectively protecting this little village in the Vidalcan countryside. I don't know anything about the Vidalcans. I was just like their name. I'll give it like, I don't know, weird texture lines like this. Does this make sense? Something like that. Sparkfield Generator, maybe that kind of ruined it. I just like, maybe I can shade. Can you shade things? Like the bottom is like a little darker than the top. I don't know. You know, it's not the worst. I've seen better. Birds, always with the birds. Birds help. Poor old birds, but they're protected in there. Medium picture of a Sparkfield Generator. I'll put like a cloud up here or something, man. This is like a bit of an in-depth picture, but it is a mythic rare, so that's actually by Mark Teaton. Great art. Awesome. So Sparkfield Generator. We got our common Planeswalkers. That's what we're doing today. Recap. Let's see it. Alright, so we started off with Faced Wallace, simple, 1 and a black, 2 loyalty, Planeswalker Wallace, who says, when he enters the battlefield, draw a card and lose 1 life. And then he says, whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, target opponent loses 1 life. So he watches around, he sees things leave, he stabs people basically as a little knife in his pocket. We have Henneth, board elf, and she's green for a 1 loyalty Planeswalker, Henneth. And when Henneth enters the battlefield, you make a 1/1 green elf creature token. And I briefly forgot that they updated the wording to not be this mouthful and instead just say create a 1/1 elf. But anyway, and whenever you play a forest, add green. So she helps you out with your mana. Like, I mean, you put this out turn 2, get a 1/1 elf, put out a forest, get an extra green. Seems like it could be okay at times. We got Pels, Solid Golem. who's a solidly confusing common. I don't think this is a common at all, but anyway. 4 and white for 5 mana, or no, I have 5 loyalty. Planeswalker Pills. And when Pills enters the battlefield, gain 3 life. If a creature with power greater or equal to Pills' loyalty would deal damage to you, prevent that damage. So they can still kill Pills in one shot, but if they try to attack you, like those big creatures aren't going to do anything because Pills got your back. And then Sparkfield Generator that we just looked at, but that's a mythic rare artifact for 5 that gives your Planeswalkers several loyalty abilities. So Planeswalkers you control gain +1 loyalty will untap target permanent. +1 loyalty will put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Or -2 loyalty will create a 2/2 colorless construct creature token. And I don't know, this is nonsense, but there it is. You gotta power up your common Planeswalkers. You gotta make your like just Planeswalker deck, you know, after you get your 10 booster gift set of this like strange set with Planeswalkers that are commons, you know. But take my spark, you will need it. From Jace Balerion. Yeah, we'll be back again next week with more cards. Hopefully more playable and actually reasonable in these ones. These are a bit like, I don't know, man. Anyway, thanks for checking it out.